Hi and welcome to Real Reviews. My name is Martin Carr and today I'm going to be talking about Invasion Season 2, which is out on Apple TV as we speak. Premiered in 2021, it's co-created by Simon Kinberg of the X-Men universe and Designated Survivor respectively, as well as David Wheel, who is well known to many for his series on Amazon Prime or Prime Video, Hunters, starring Al Pacino. Right, let's get into it, shall we? So the problem with Invasion Season 1 is there's simply too much of it. It was 10 episodes, 10 hours of an alien invasion which didn't really happen. They were sea-urchin-like in origin. They were fleeting, and you just had a lot of desperate characters who were scattered across the world in Tokyo, in London, in New York, and in the Yemen. They all had issues with loss. They all were they were all scrambling for identity, and they were all battling their own personal demons, which might sound really riveting when it comes to drama, but in this particular case it was such a broad canvas that so much of that got lost. And ultimately what happened is it lost momentum. In Invasion Season 1, as much as it might have had a $200 million production budget, it just lagged, and it was slow, and it was tedious. And all of these actors, they just felt wasted. So the thing about Season 2 to remember is that this is 100% better. This is leaps and bounds. This is head and shoulders above anything which came in Season 1, primarily because it just feels dramatic. It has more life to it. There's more going on. Gulshift Fariani, who plays Anisha Malik, actually feels tangible. She doesn't feel like an add-on. Shamir Anderson as Trevante Cole isn't sort of wandering aimlessly through the desert, worrying about, you know, he should be home, or he's looking for his marine colleagues. And you spend less time doing that in Season 2, and it feels like the aliens are being introduced. They are being introduced. They're a tangible threat. You've got throwbacks to the Alien franchise. You've got things which touch on the Transformers franchise. You've got little hat tips to Independence Day, and because of that, because it feels chunkier, ultimately Season 2 is a massive improvement, and you know there's much more to dive into. So let's dive into that in the third part. Let's jump in. So Shioli Kutsuna, who plays Mitsuki Yamamoto, who is the comms engineer, she's got so much more to do this time round. She gets taken to a tech, sort of a high-tech sort of hub, and her comms skills are used to reconnect with Hinata, who is her partner, who was the astronaut in the first season, who is tragically lost in the first 10 minutes. And a lot of the emotional depth and the meat and potatoes of what makes Season 2 work so well, and throws back to the Tarkovsky and the Steven Soderbergh interpretations of Solaris at least once or twice, is a thing which gives this real depth and ultimately should really hook audiences in. Alongside that, you've got this Stranger Things element, which is where you've got Billy Barrett, who is obviously collapsed in a coma since the end of Season 1, is now, you know, incommunicado, and it's now the job of Jamelia, who is played by India Brown, alongside Paddy Holland as Monty, to sort of go on some sort of like quest to track Casper down. And the thing which ultimately, aside from the comms engineer, aside from that glorious storyline, is the turnaround of Paddy Holland as Monty Cutterell in this. He really does bring such a tremendous amount of pathos and depth, whether it's on their journey from Folkestone through to their final destination, or the revelations that he has about his parents, and all the connection that he constantly establishes and constantly maintains with his baby sister. I mean, this is really good stuff. And that's the thing. I think ultimately this is what the driving force of Invasion is. That provides the heart and the soul, which seemed to be so sorely lacking from the first season. And I think ultimately this is why audiences need to go back to this, give it another chance. Even if you just see maybe the first and the last episode, and episode 6 of season 1, just to get an overview of what's actually happening, then dive into season 2. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. So I'm going to be moving on to that rating. Let's move right along. So I'm thinking that because of the huge leaps and bounds that occurred over from season 1 to season 2, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 on the big old 5 scale, because this really is this is a resurgence. This is a radical reinvention, as I said in my IGN review recently. And it deserves a lot more attention than sadly, unfortunately, it's going to receive, because there's going to be so much of what people remember from season 1 as being mediocre, being average for something which was supposed to deliver, that people are invariably not going to give it a second chance. But I'm saying right now that they really should. So that's Invasion season 2. It's out on Apple TV right now. That's my lot. Let's move on. So welcome to this extremely long video review for Invasion season 2, and we've reached the end. I say welcome, and we've reached the end. So if you've liked it, be sure to like it and give me a thumbs up. If you would like to drop a comment in the comment box below, then by all means feel free. And if you would like to subscribe, then every Tuesday and every Saturday when I download, when one of these bad boys appears, you'll get a little ping, and you can listen to as much or watch as much or as little as you feel that you'd like to. So, and also obviously there are other videos. Feel free to browse those too. Until next time, take care. Talk soon. Bye.